Alright guys, we gotta talk about something. The Splatoon 3 test fire. Where is it? Is it even gonna happen? Well, no one knows. It could very well still be on the way, but I was on Twitter yesterday and I saw something that really made me reconsider my stance on the Splatoon 3 test fire. Check it out. So, Mighty Bear here says, I don't believe a test fire is happening at all. They already did one for Splatoon 2, which theoretically uses the same servers and the same hardware. So from the outside, I don't see a need to do a Splatoon 3 test fire. So I'll be honest, I've had these exact same thoughts before, but I always just kind of brushed it aside because I really didn't think that there would be any way that we wouldn't get a test fire for the new game. It just seemed like such a tradition at this point. But after seeing other people share these thoughts about not getting a test fire, I realized that this might actually be a reality. So let's take a deeper dive into what the tweet said. The purpose for both of the first two test fires was to, well, test out the online infrastructure for the game on the current hardware at the time. Splatoon 1 definitely needed it, as it was the first game and they wanted to see how the Wii U servers would handle it. If I recall correctly, it was a bit of a disaster with a ton of disconnects, so I think they learned from that test fire, which made it a great idea. Now, when it came to the Splatoon 2 test fire, the devs had a bit more of an idea what they were doing. However, the test fire was still necessary since Splatoon 2 was on the Switch. Not to mention, it came out pretty early in the Switch's life, so the servers weren't super familiarized yet. From my memory, there was still a decent amount of disconnects for this demo, but it was way better than Splatoon 1's. But now, let's consider Splatoon 3. This is the third installment of the series, so the devs definitely know how to handle things now. From what we've seen in the game, it doesn't look drastically different from Splatoon 2. I mean, it's still 4-on-4 turf war. And plus, the main thing here is that the game is still on the Switch, the same console as the previous game. So, as the tweet said, it's probably going to be using the same servers. Now, it could be using that newer server system called NPLN, which Mario Party Superstars and Pokemon Legends Arceus uses, but according to other people, NPLN isn't much different from the previous online system. It just has to deal with managing matchmaking. Plus, the new Mario Strikers game went back to the old NEX server system anyways, so I get the feeling that Splatoon 3 is just going to use the older one as well. So the point here is that if Splatoon 3 is using similar servers to Splatoon 2, and it's on the same console as Splatoon 2, does Nintendo really need a test fire? But now, let's consider the opposite side. Just because the devs have the whole online server system under control for Splatoon 3, doesn't necessarily mean that a test fire would be useless. There are other benefits to it. First of all, well, it is a demo, so this can help persuade new people who are on the fence about buying the game. It would also just be great advertising for the game, because I'm sure there would be a lot of hype surrounding the test fire, and word will spread. And trust me, with how little we currently know about the game, it could really use it. And lastly, it would just be a really nice fan pleaser. It would be so cool to get to try out some of the new weapons, specials, and maps before the game's actual release date. So I shouldn't really need to say this, but this video is all just speculation. We have no proof as to whether or not a test fire is coming. Splatoon 1's test fire was only about a month before the game's launch, so we still have time. But if it is going to happen, I do find it strange that we don't even have a date for it yet. This is the kind of thing that Nintendo should be promoting endlessly. So again, no evidence, but just from what we know about the game so far and the history of the previous test fires, I'm leaning more towards the side of us not getting one. But trust me, I really hope I'm wrong about that. I think a test fire would be awesome, and I would try to farm so much content out of that. But only time will tell. But I am curious about what your guys' opinions are on this matter. So as always, please like the video and leave a comment down below telling me what you think. This seems like a really mixed subject, so I'd love to hear what you all have to say about it. Alright guys, that's going to be it for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Have a good one.